Dani Ceballos is one of many Real Madrid players facing an uncertain future at the club. The midfielder has played a secondary role at the club and has yet to make himself a first-team regular under Carlo Ancelotti. Injuries have not helped him either, and with his contract expiring at the end of the season, many expect the former Arsenal starlet to move on in 2023. In light of his uncertain future, rumours have been swirling over his potential move away from Santiago Bernabeu. One such report claimed that the midfielder had rejected a move to Real Betis last month, as he is waiting for a move to the Premier League. A central midfielder by trade, Ceballos played for Arsenal on loan for 2 seasons. During his time in England, he featured in 77 competitive matches for the Gunners, though he was not able to impress coach Mikel Arteta. But while one would expect him to bat for a return to the Premier League, Ceballos himself has trashed rumours linking him to a move to England. The midfielder responded to one tweet suggesting he had rejected a move to Real Betis. "Do not divert attention," he retweeted. The player indicated that he is still a part of Real Madrid and there is yet to be any definitive decision on his future. Reports earlier this month had suggested that Ceballos is going to battle it out in his bid to earn a contract renewal at Real Madrid. Given the club's lack of depth in the middle of the park, a renewal cannot be ruled out either, but a lot may depend on how the player fares during the second half of the campaign. Eduardo Camavinga didn't play as much as he liked in Qatar, but he can say that he has played in a World Cup final for his nation. The 20-year-old made just 2 appearances for France at the tournament, with only one of those being from the start, against Tunisia. However, he was a second-half substitute in Sunday's final against Argentina, which Les Bleus lost on penalties. Eyebrows were raised when Camavinga was brought on against La Albiceleste at left-back, replacing Theo Hernandez. The Real Madrid star played in the position against Tunisia, and struggled as the African side won 1-0. However, no such struggles were evident on Sunday. Coming on at 2-0 down, he put in an impressive performance as he helped his nation force extra time, and then penalties. Even despite the loss, Camavinga can hold his head high for what he put into the game. His club manager Carlo Ancelotti will have taken stock of his performance too, which could lead to more opportunities in the first team at Real Madrid. Camavinga is behind the likes of Luka Modric, Toni Kroos and international teammate Aurelien Tchouameni in the midfield pecking order, so a switch to left-back could present more opportunities, as per AS. Ferland Mendy is currently first choice in the position, but the club are said to be unconvinced with the Frenchman, which could allow for Camavinga to step in and prove his worth to Los Blancos. Real Madrid are just over a week away from their return to action in La Liga against Real Valladolid, but there are a number of moving parts that will inhibit them from being at full strength. For a start, Carlo Ancelotti is still waiting on some of his players to return. Eduardo Camavinga, Aurelien Tchouameni and Luka Modric were all involved in the final weekend of World Cup action and will likely not be back for their tie against Real Valladolid on the 30th of December. Rodrigo Goes, Eder Militao and Vinicius Jr. will all return to training on the 26th, and could even be used against Valladolid. Ancelotti will assess their fitness on arrival, as per MD. It is the beginning of a potentially nightmarish run for Los Blancos. Their resources will be divided between 5 competitions between their return and March. Should they progress through to the final of the Spanish Super Cup, the semi-finals of the Copa del Rey and the final of the Club World Cup, the fixtures will pile up. In addition to their La Liga duties, Los Blancos have their first Champions League knockout tie against Liverpool. In just under 2 months of their return, they could play 17 games across all competitions, which could define their season. In late February and March, their Champions League tie against Liverpool will be accompanied by the Madrid derby and El Clasico before the international break at the end of March. Last season Ancelotti managed to get the fitness of his squad just right, without rotating much until late April, but he may be forced into changes earlier this season.